love. Oh.
Hi, Beth.
Headphones? You want to make sure you can hear me?
Yeah. You sound great.
Well,
I sound kind of quiet.
what's new? What's new? Jenna, great to see you.
I sound great, especially when I'm singing. Did you know?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. You don't know.
We both have gum in our mouths and we both need to take it out.
Apologies.
Did you guys ever have speech classes or like any? Didn't you learn this in theater? Beth, you're the theater nerd.
Yeah,
No
I'm going
offense.
to tell you something that's like not legit or professional, but I would often go on stage with something in my mouth.
That is not okay, Beth.
Well, I have the problem of like a dry throat and I would get like a little cough. So I to this day, I give talks with gum in my mouth or a lozenge to like keep my throat lubricated.
You learn something new every day, you know?
You didn't know that.
Okay, Beth, tell the people who you are, what we're doing here.
My name is Beth Davis.
And I'm Jenna Gizar.
And we're here to chat with you a little bit about Advent because we are so excited. Our brand new
This
Advent.
is me excited. This is my excited dance. Oh.
I think you're a better dancer than that.
I was just on the phone with Father Parks, who is an excellent dancer.
That is
I wish I could
so
channel
real.
my inner Father Parks.
Yeah, he's a very good dancer.
Yeah. Okay, BD.
I'm also, honestly...
Okay, I wasn't going to say it, but Beth is also an amazing dancer.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I am. Just had to have my little moment in the sun. I love
You're
dancing in the
sparkling,
car.
Beth. You're sparkling.
It's true. It's true. This is our brand new Advent Devotional. We just launched it last week,
Yeah.
and so we wanted to talk to you a little bit about it. My heart has been overflowing, exploding to talk about this theme for a very long time. It's near and dear to my heart. It's called In Time, Living in the Now and Not Yet.
Wow. And it's written by the one and only
Claire Dwyer.
Claire Dwyer, who will be here making an appearance very soon.
She's on her way, folks.
Soon and very soon, we are going to see the King.
I literally just added that song to our Advent playlist.
No, you did not.
Not that version. Not that version. Okay.
Is there another version?
There's
What do
like
you
a very
mean?
sweet hymn version of it that's like soon and very soon.
Cry.
Well, the theme is time, you know?
Yeah,
And like
tell them about the theme.
soon and very
Well,
soon.
first I want you
Yeah.
to show me all of our Advent goodies.
Okay.
So this is the women's one.
Yeah, this is
It's called In Time. It's written by Claire Dwyer. She's amazing. She's going to be here soon.
The OG.
So if you're watching, share with people so they can get an idea of Claire, her heart behind the book. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah. We also have a men's devotional called Feast. All based on, inspired by the parable of the prodigal son, written by the one and only Paul George.
Paul George.
Changed my life many moons ago. Actually, still changing my life, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. Such a good man, a mentor, lover of Jesus,
Yeah.
great husband, father. Anyway, you want to get this for the men in your life. I am, actually. I'm really excited to send this to some men in my life.
Sweet. Tell them what else they get with it, BD.
With this?
Yeah.
What do they get with
A
this?
leader guide.
Oh, yeah.
Other
we want you to
things?
do it with other men. Kind of like we want you to do all of our things with people. That's what we're about, prayer and community. We go further. We grow together. I actually just wrote about this. I wrote about how we could learn a lot about small groups from sea turtles. Stay tuned.
Tortoises.
Tortoises.
If you will. It down below, share with us if you say tortoises or if you say tortoise.
Nobody says tortoise.
In Ireland, I thought.
In America, no one says tortoise.
But we could have some Irish women.
They might be here. Hey, gals.
Yeah, tell them
Hiya.
about Paul's podcast as well.
Paul and Mike Gizar did a podcast series to accompany you for all the 4 weeks of Advent. Kind of like Jenna and I will be doing a podcast season to accompany you through In Time.
This is like a preview of it. It's going to be even better.
I do think we're going to sit here. And
Yeah, I
think
like
I'm gonna
this
love
spot.
it. I think
Do you
I'm
guys
gonna
like
love
it?
If you've been around and you've like seen the podcast before, this is new. And I like it a lot.
I'm vibing with it.
Me too, friend.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the men's Devo. We've got a leader guide for you. We've got the women's Devo. It also has a leader guide and also has a podcast. Kids,
And has a whole member community. So when you get this,
Yeah.
right in your email, like right upon purchase, you will see a link to get into the Advent channel member community, which is where we'll be. We're going to be having conversations with hundreds of other women who are walking through this book together, because Blessed Is She's heart is for prayer and community. So we want to enter into daily prayer with you and walk with you, and or to support you as you walk with other women in a small group. So we have a leader guide for you as well. If you are in a remote area in Siberia, we also are offering virtual small groups for you, just for you.
Anybody in Siberia?
Yeah.
Sign up.
Other remote areas.
There are lots
in like rural places.
Yeah, Iowa.
Farmlands.
Rural Iowa.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Rural Australia.
We're helping you connect with other women.
Yeah.
We have someone on staff. Her name is Justine Donahue. She's amazing. She met in an Advent virtual small group 4 years ago. 3 years ago.
I think it was 3.
3 years ago. And they still talk, and she still has like very dear friends from a virtual small group that we helped her put together.
I do think they still meet. They've done other studies since Advent.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, so tell them about the last book.
Okay, our last
As
offering.
I get Claire sitting here.
There are so many things you can do here. Can I have this? Yeah. We have so many opportunities for bundles, right? You can do the women's, you can do the standalone. Actually, can I show you a couple of things? If you wanted to get the women's bundle, you could do the book. You get this beautiful decade bracelet, and are you kidding me? Here is a desk crucifix. Isn't that so cute? That's new in the shop. I don't know if you've seen that. I suddenly feel like I'm on QVC. Which I'm like,
Mother Angelica vibes.
I am like Mother Angelica. Pray for us. Okay, this is so cute because it can literally sit on your desk. Hi, Claire. Hi.
Trying not to be awkward. Where do I look?
And then, no, you're great. You're great. I'll keep talking. Okay. Or it can come off and you can hang it. Or, as Justine said today, you could sleep with it.
What?
Which she did say that. Isn't that so sweet? Nobody else sleeps with a crucifix.
I used to do that all the time.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Listen, actually, St. Therese talks about this, not about the
Let's
sleeping
make
with
it
it.
a thing.
I
A
agree.
sleeping crucifix.
No, I actually
You
agree.
should totally advertise that.
I think we should put it on the site as a sleeping
It's a
crucifix.
thing now. Where I don't know where to look, but
So it's just this one camera. But St. Therese would encourage people to keep in their prayer space a small crucifix. And then she talked about like kissing the crucifix and letting Jesus kiss you. Is that not the sweetest thing ever? And now you have a tiny crucifix to do that. Also called a desk crucifix, you know? Do you want to see it, Claire?
yes.
Hi. Okay, so that's the women's bundle. We are going to get into what the actual book's about, but I figure while we've got all the goods here, you know? So that's the women's. You could also bundle it with the men's for you and your hubs, boyfriend, brother, I don't know, dad. Also, we have a children's version called Watch and Wait, and you could get like a little family bundle as well. Okay, loads of options. Do you like it, Claire?
I do. I love the Saint Benedict.
Me too.
I mean, this is like spiritual powerhouse right here. Then
what I'm
get the
saying.
blessing of the special Benedictine blessing,
Oh,
and you'll be good.
thanks for reminding me about that because I actually just got a wall Benedictine crucifix.
Yep. There's a whole
Not
special
in the shop
blessing for that.
yet. And this is the women's little decade bracelet. Isn't that sweet?
It's really sweet.
Okay, anyway, Claire Dwyer, author of In Time, Blessed Is She's
And
Advent
who was
Devotional.
not on time today? I mean, we are all thinking it. We're all thinking
I
it.
would
I'll
never have
just
said
say
it,
it
Claire.
out loud.
I would never have said it to you, but that is hilarious. Claire Dwyer.
It doesn't say on time.
In
it just
time?
says in time.
Claire Dwyer is in time.
We are in time. We're just not on time always.
Not necessarily on time. Claire, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah.
Is that your phone ringing?
Yes, we're just. I'm not used to this. This is really, these live things. I don't do this.
I know. Yeah.
So.
I haven't done it in a while, so I'm a little rusty too. So we're in this together. Claire, thanks for writing this beautiful devotional. I've read it many times. I love it more every single time. And I'm not really a flatterer. You know what I mean?
Well, it was a gift to be able to write it and to really dive into what it means to be to be a Christian who has received through our baptism all that we need for salvation and all the promises of God, to become his child, to hear in our heart, everything I have is yours, and yet to live in a state of perpetual desire, anticipation, and to not have the fullness of what we were made for. And that's what Advent is a season of. It's like a little microcosm of this reality.
Claire, as I've been rereading this, I was just struck by how universal it is, because everyone is waiting for something. Can you speak to that a little bit? Like just the reality of waiting and living in that tension of the now and the not yet, but the reality of like, this is coming, heaven is for us. But we're in time. We're literally we're not able to access the promise yet.
Yeah, and we feel it every single day,
Yeah.
and we don't like it. I mean, how many times have we said, when this is over?
Yeah.
Or I'm just trying to get through this season or this thing or this project, because we don't like the suspense of having things open-ended. We just would like it to be complete and full and done. And yet life is a continual like resetting, waiting for another thing. Sometimes they're small things, waiting for someone to answer a text or pick up the phone, or, you know, or sometimes they're big things, waiting for a diagnosis or a healing or an answered prayer. And that might take years and it might take decades. But in the wait, God is doing something very important. All those little waits are getting us ready for the big, long wait of our union with him. You know, what we were made for. So what we want really is heaven. And I say that in the devotional. What we really want, what we think we want, the fulfillment of, you know, this perfect house or perfect health or this relationship, we desire something so desperately, but what we really want is heaven. And so this season of Advent is a reminder that everything else is just an anticipatory wait.
I knew I was going to have a hard time with talking to you about this, because every time Claire shares anything about this book, I just want to go pray, you know? Just even I'm identifying with what you're sharing there, that like I am waiting for something right now. And I'm like, but actually that's heaven is hidden there.
Yeah.
And I'm focusing on the externals, but the deeper reality is that I'm longing for God.
Yeah. All of our other longings are just, they reflect something bigger than what they are. And that's why God allows them. He's like, I have to let you not have everything you want, because then you wouldn't long for me. Wow. You would be satisfied with all the things of the earth. And I created you for so much more than that.
I feel like that's what's missed in, I don't know, like the experience of waiting. Because I think we can agree, like we're all waiting for something. And I hear this language about like we want to wait well, like help me to wait well. But I just don't think we actually want to wait well. I think we want the thing that we want. We just want to like be on our best behavior until that thing happens. But is there a way, talk to me about like what that would look like to, in the language of the devotional, it's like live in the tension, be okay with the tension. There's a beautiful image that you use in the introduction about the Father giving us a gift. Is it okay to spoil this? The Father giving us a gift. And we're so delighted and excited. The same way you receiving any kind of present, like imagine being handed a gift. But when you open it, it's empty. It's empty. So to us, we often receive that gift as a lack of something. But you propose that actually the emptiness is capacity, is space, and that we have to work very hard to hold that space and to be stretched and not to rush to fill it up, which we can often be inclined to do, particularly during Advent, to kind of rush ahead to Christmas. But you're saying this is a temptation in all of our lives, to fill up the space rather than allow ourselves to be stretched to receive God himself.
Yeah, I mean, he is fullness. He is the answer to all of our desires. So the more that we stuff ourselves with anything that is not him, the less capacity we have for the only thing that will satisfy us. And it is the great temptation. Like, there's something within us. It's our fallen nature. It has to be, because it's not from God. But there is something within us that hates emptiness, that hates white space, that hates silence. If you're in a conversation with somebody, you'll rush to fill the space. We're uncomfortable with nothingness. I don't know about you, but every surface of my house seems to just attract stuff. Like, it just doesn't stay clean. It doesn't stay empty, no matter how many times I organize a closet or a junk drawer. Like, it fills up. My mind gets filled up. I'm always tapping on the next podcast episode, or it's just a thing. And I mean, if I order another book from Amazon, my husband's gonna hit the ceiling. We just want more and more and more. And the Lord is inviting us in Advent, especially, always, but especially in Advent, to just be without and be okay without being without. Everything within us screams, but what about? And the Lord's like, you have got to leave space for me, or there's nowhere for me to answer your prayers and answer your desires and answer your longing. There's no room for me. And we're so uncomfortable with that. I'm so uncomfortable with that. This book is not written me on a mountaintop, preaching down. It is me begging God for answers to the longing and the unanswered desires in my own life.
Because I think what I'm hearing and what I experience is, again, I have this external thing that I'm waiting for, that I'm filling up in an effort to satisfy that longing. But there's something deeper going on, that even when I get that thing, it's not enough. And you hear this, right? Like when the baby is potty trained, when the kids go back to school, when I finish this semester, when my daughter gets married, then, and then it happens and you're like, oh, that actually didn't do it.
Yep.
I didn't get what I thought that ending promised. And I think what you're proposing here is that there is a peace available in the midst of the longing and the waiting. There's possibility, there's opportunity for great intimacy in the waiting.
Yeah, we're all waiting for a promised land. We're like, I'm just going to cross that threshold, be in the promised land, and everything will be okay. And we keep circling around the desert, and but I think it's okay sometimes to just pitch your tent and say, here you are, Lord. I want the promised land, but Lord, you're in the desert.
Yes.
So what I want isn't where you are. That's the thing about living in the present moment. What we're anticipating, what we think we want, if we're focused on that, we're always looking at the horizon. And it is good sometimes to raise our eyes, to think about what's possible, to think about what God has called us to anticipate future gifts and rewards and even paradise. But then if we do that too much and too often, we're missing God in the present moment. This is where he is. That's why every time we say the Our Father or the Hail Mary or the Glory Be, all the prayers of the Rosary continuously point us back to the present moment, now and at the hour of our death. Now and at the hour of our death, the two moments that really matter.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, Claire. Again, I just actually kind of want to go pray. Genuinely, friend. Because I think I'm just excited for women to read and pray through this book for themselves, because I think we can all identify with a weight, something that we want. We can't always identify the deeper longing in it, which is for heaven, which is for God himself. Yeah. And we're trying literally everything else, and it's not working.
Well, and the culture's not helping.
Yeah.
I mean, when it's 4th of July is over, on clearance, July 5th, Halloween.
Yeah.
And we're getting a pumpkin, and over here it's the Christmas trees are blinking, and I mean, it's just so hard to stay centered and stay focused when everything around us is commercialized and trying to get us to focus on the next thing. And it's so stressful. For me as a woman, because I'm the one planning like the next thing, it's so easy to get swept up in that. And in the invitation to wait and the invitation to space, to keeping space and guarding that space, it's not meant to be like, okay, you got to be a Grinch and you got to frown on everybody that puts their tree up during Advent or whatever. Like, this is not judging anybody. This isn't saying this is how you have to do it. It's just an invitation to say there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, whether we participate in it or not. It's going to be clamoring for our attention. But in the midst of that, can you find a little time?
Yeah.
Can you find a little space? Even if it's just space in your mind and in your heart, to not be full and to be okay with that. Because I think the thing is that waiting is a sort of suffering. Hurts. That's why we want to fill it. It doesn't feel good to not have a good. That's what we're waiting for, is something good. And that is a form of suffering when we don't possess it. There's something within us that wants so desperately to possess that good thing. So can we be okay with not having it? Can we be okay with suffering? Can we offer that up for those people in our lives that we love so much, for that intention that we want so much? Can you offer up your wait? That can be a really powerful way to enter into Advent too.
Wow. I just, what you're describing there, this is the tension of how do I continue to hope for heaven, for this thing that is a good, that I believe God is calling me to and wants for me, but it's not happening yet, and also embrace the sacredness of the present moment, which I feel like is a deep theme of the book, discovering the present moment. But it's both and. It's not one or the other. And I think what we're tempted to do is go all in on the promise or all in on the present moment, and then like not have any hope, not want anything because I'm going to get disappointed, or live for that thing and miss the present moment.
Absolutely. I am your textbook melancholic. Like the promise and the future, those are things that I'm not necessarily always focused on. I have to talk myself out of despair sometimes. It's like I'm just hyper focused on what's happening, and it's especially if it's not a good thing, then I tend to ruminate on it and dwell on it. I think gratitude journals are so powerful, that practice of reminding us God is present and active. And here's the thing, that future that we're longing for, like he's working all of this for that.
Yes.
It's for that. This is everything that's happening to you is for your union with him that you are so desiring in this moment. Like it's kind of happening. It's all happening right now. So,
do you know what I think is incredible about God that we miss? We're hyper focused on the thing, on the end point, and we miss that God is actually doing a lot of things, not only to support and bring about that one thing, but actually to give you something better and bigger. I feel like I'm in the midst of this in my life right now, so I wish I could get into it with like a specific example. But if I look back on my life, I've wanted one thing or I've pursued one thing and it didn't happen, and it's only in a different season later that I can look back and say, oh wow, it didn't work out like that, but look what God did, which wasn't a switch. It was somehow like fuller and more beautiful and actually more perfect for me. And I grew, I matured in my trust, like my desires were purified. He's just, all that to say, he's doing so much more than we imagine. But I like want him to do the one thing, and I want him to do it the way I want it.
Well, he's getting you ready.
Oh, for sure.
For the better gift.
For sure.
Because that's the thing. We do not, as we are, have the capacity to receive what he wants to give us.
Yes. Okay, sorry, can you just say that one more time?
We, as we are, do not have the capacity, even humanly, to receive what he wants to give us. So in the lack, the invitation is to be stretched, to become more ourselves so that we can receive what we don't even know we want. We don't even know what the good thing is that he has for us. We can't pray for it. We don't know it because he's getting it ready for us. When it comes, we'll say, oh, that's what this was all about. Thank you.
I know that that's true. I don't think we say it often enough. Like, you actually can't the Lord said this to me last night. You can't out-desire me. You can't out-desire me. My desires are not too big for him. If anything, my desires are actually too small. And the waiting is what stretches me to be able to receive his desire bigger than my dream for myself.
And he's the one who gave you the desire.
Yeah.
Desires are good.
Yeah.
They're human. He thirsts. He made us to thirst. That's a really, really powerful desire. When you're thirsty, you can't think about anything else. Think about how the Lord is so single-heartedly desiring us and has impressed on our hearts a capacity for him and a desire for him that he only wants to grow, because he can only pour himself out to the extent that we have the capacity to receive.
Yes.
And I want a lot of the Lord. I need a lot of the Lord. But he's got to hollow me out. And if I have a choice, I think that's that scene that you're referring to in the beginning of the book. It's like an imaginative prayer scene where the gift is nothingness, and it's like, what? And the Lord's invitation is, you better guard this, because everything in your life will work against this remaining empty. And on a human level, and in a relational level, like, everything will vie to fill that space. But if it's filled, then there's no room for God. So the invitation of Advent is to do a little interior house cleaning, and then put some really clear boundaries and parameters around whatever space you clear, and invite the Lord spiritually in Christmas to become incarnate in our hearts and to take up his dwelling place there in a way. I mean, the grace of the season is real. It's real.
Yes.
Like, what happens in heaven and on earth, those things are entwined. So the Lord is offering you the grace of his presence in Christmas in a way that the rest of the liturgical year, it's not available.
Yes.
If we miss it, it will not come again until next Christmas. And even then, it won't come in the same way. Like, these are graces for the present moment, so we have to avail ourselves of them.
Yeah. I think I'm always struck because, like, we don't choose these themes. It's not like it's Advent. What's an Advent type theme? There's a lot of prayer and discernment that goes into it. So even this particular devotional is meant for this season.
Yeah.
This was not the right devotional last year, and I don't know that it might be for you, for someone individually, but collectively, what we've discerned the Lord doing is inviting us to make this space to receive more of him in a really unique way through in time this year. That's only available to happen this year.
It's so beautiful, too, to think that there will be women all over praying with the same things and really collectively, like, entering into a very specific kind of prayer.
So true. I kind of want to give a caveat, Claire. Tell me if I'm being too much of a downer here. But when we talk, I know I'm talking to a melancholic. When we talk about this, like, making space, and I'm just imagining the woman who's like, okay, I've got some issues with God's timing in my life. I've been waiting on a promise from God that, like, I know is from God, and I'm tired. So, like, I'm gonna go all in on this theme. And then you do, and you're just kind of left with the space for a little while. I almost feel like I want to say that's okay. Do you know what I mean? It's not like the minute we make the space, suddenly the promise rushes in. Like, your prayer could be dry the first day, or you might get to the end of the season and it still doesn't look the way you hoped for, or we're not making space to manipulate God. We're making space to let God be God.
Yep. Here's the good news about that. There's good news. if God allows you to experience the ache of dryness and the ache of waiting, it actually means that you're doing something right. Because as we grow and we mature spiritually, and I given talks at Blessed Is She Retreats about this very reality, if we grow and we mature spiritually, there does come a point where the Lord intentionally allows there to be a lack. Because he's like, look, I don't have to give you candy anymore.
Yes.
I can allow you to long for me. And I did, the Lord often in the beginning, like early conversion stages of our life, or when we, he does often give us sweet consolations. I mean, he does it all the time. But if there's a season of our life where we're just feeling a lack of spiritual consolation, is like the theological term for it, as long as other things in our life remain in place, we can be pretty sure that it's the Lord moving us to a deeper kind of intimacy, where we're going to him for him, not for what he's giving us in prayer. So I think that should allow us to take heart a little bit. If we can see it from that perspective and say, I'm doing something right. The Lord thinks I'm a big girl.
Yeah.
And I think that he wants to do something in the lack and the wait that he can't do if I'm constantly getting little spiritual tokens. And he wants so much more for us. And that can only come on the other side of desire.
A few weeks ago, the Lord said to me in prayer, I want to give you romance. And, as a single woman, that it touches a very deep longing in my heart. And as I often do with the Lord, he'll use a word that's so specific that I'm like, I wonder if maybe I don't know what that word means. So I looked it up, and the definition of romance was mystery and excitement. And I'm like, wow, that's so you, Lord. That is my whole relationship with you, is mystery and excitement. And so for as painful as waiting can be, the suffering you talked about in waiting, there is also, if we believe that the one who's asking us to wait is good and loves us and wants to surprise us and actually wants to give us more than we could ask or imagine, suddenly the waiting, it's there's a sweetness to it. The ache is beautiful. It might be bitter, there's a bitterness, but it's bittersweet. I'm thinking of, I wonder, is it C.S. Lewis who says the sweetest thing in all my life has been the longing.
I don't know who said it, but it's so good.
Someone said that. I wish I had my phone and I would look it up right now. But isn't that true? The looking forward to something, you almost feel like it's too good. When you know it's going to happen, there's a romance to it. There's a mystery and an excitement to it, as opposed to waiting being infused with despair because you're not sure it's ever going to happen. Those are two very different experiences of the same thing.
And and from a human perspective, usually what we anticipate something to be, it never meets that expectation.
Totally.
We're always Christmas is all, for kids, it's always a little bit of a downer because it's so built up in their mind.
Yeah.
And, it's hard for us to outgrow that. There is only one person and one reality that will so far exceed all of our expectations. We don't even know. And that, of course, is the Lord, and that, of course, is heaven. I love the way that you brought out the word mystery, though, with romance, because Jen and I were talking about how it is kind of hard to explain this devotional, isn't it? It's to find the words.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I hear you guys, but I feel it in my bones, so I could talk about it all day.
Yeah, but it's because of the mystery of it.
Yeah.
It's because we're inviting you to plunge into this mystery. And it's hard to articulate that. It just has to be experienced. And that's my prayer for everybody that reads the devotional, is that it becomes take your shoes off, enter into the mystery, and even if you don't have the words to explain it, allow the Lord to do something deep within your heart and be changed.
Yeah. It's such an invitation this Advent. And I think that's, Jenna just sent an email this week. Like, there's a reason we're telling you about this 2 months in advance, because there are going to be so many other things vying for your attention. All that space you're going to be tempted to fill up. And we're saying, make a decision now. Like, choose now that I'm going to set some boundaries. I'm going to have my set aside prayer time. I want to get in a small group and walk with someone, with other women this Advent, to actually experience God, to receive the mystery of the gifts and the graces that God wants to give me in relationship with him.
Yeah, look, the world's not going to wait. It's coming. So why not make the space now, the sacred space?
Yes. Yeah. Claire, I'm so excited to read your book again. Can I ask you, it's been a year since you've written this book, and I'm just curious if or how it has kind of unfolded for you, like from the experience of writing it to now. I don't know, has it changed, revisiting it a year later? Maybe how do you reflect on it?
It's always, every time I write something, I go back, I'm like, oh, I forgot I wrote that. I mean, life goes on.
Yeah.
We do one project, we're on to the next.
Yeah.
And it must be hard. It's hard to anticipate a liturgical season when you're not in the season. So this was not written in Advent. But now I see what God was doing even in the writing of it, knowing what I was going to need now.
Yeah.
And now looking back, even the stories I include and things like that, like I even just a year later, have a different perspective on them.
Wow.
And appreciate them in a different way.
Yeah.
So
Does something come to mind, any of the like particular reflections or anecdotes that you shared?
Well, I'll share. So one story, my son, who's in college now, had broken his arm during his junior year. So a couple years ago, right at the start of his varsity basketball season, he's the point guard, my husband's the coach, and he, breaks his arm in 2 places. And I talk about the splint he had to wear and the stretching, that even after missing the entire season and even after the cast coming off, he wasn't ready yet. And so when we have a wound and we have a broken place, even when God is doing the healing work, there still needs to be a stretching and a season of growing in capacity to regain our mobility and to regain our power. And reading that, so I wrote that about a year after it happened, and reading it now and knowing that he's still not where he wants to be.
Wow.
And he's still waiting and maybe never will be like at full capacity. But, I look back on that and I think, wow, Lord, you really, really were teaching me something about patience. Him, first of all, but as a mom, like we can't separate ourselves from the suffering of our kids. And to see him having to be in pain and having to stretch and realizing that this is such an analogy for my life and my wounded places. We want the healing and we want it quick.
Yeah.
And we see we see what looks like instantaneous miracles, and we want that, and understandably so. But so often the Lord's like, this is a slow process. This is a slow, beautiful process. And it's because he's so gentle. Because that healing we think we want, he's like, oh my goodness, it would shatter you if I gave you what I have for you right now. Because he is so good. He is so gentle, and he is so slow because he loves us so much. I think we're stronger than we know, and also in many ways more fragile than we know.
I'm thinking of your son's arm coming out of that cast, it must have been like so emaciated.
Yeah, it was like,
So it's not just the
atrophied,
stretching,
yeah.
it's like the strengthening
Right.
even. And just thinking of my own experience of like, if I'm not cooperating in the waiting, if I'm just trying to get through it, like I just want it to be over, I'm not like strength training in the meantime to be able to sustain the thing that God wants to give me.
Yeah. I think of another story in here where I talk about my oldest son not sleeping through the night and the agony of that. And, there's any young parent that is listening to this, you've gone through this. Any parent, you've gone through this probably. And when I think about what a suffering it was being a mom of little kids, and it was very real, and you suddenly realize your life is not about you, and the stripping and the purification that comes. Well, I have to tell you, like, it doesn't necessarily get easier. However, my capacity for a different kind of motherhood
Wow.
came out of those early years. It's like that with our life. God's getting us ready for more. It's more fulfilling in many ways, but it's also harder. But I wasn't capable of being a mom of a 27-year-old.
Yes.
I wasn't capable of that 30 years ago. I couldn't possibly have mothered my kids the way that they need me to be a mom if it hadn't been for some pacing around and some long sleepless nights. I was becoming capable of that kind of love.
He's just, when you describe it that way, he's so good.
Yeah.
To make us ready. He's so patient to help us to grow, to mature into the next season, the next blessing.
We could not withstand the torrents of his love. He's got to make us ready, but he needs our cooperation. That's another thing too, is like he doesn't force the door. There's going to be no beating down your door on Christmas morning where the Lord Jesus is like, I'm here. There'll be a gentle knock and then he'll wait. So we gotta get ready for that, and we have to be quiet enough to hear it when it comes.
Well, Claire, I'm so excited for people to get this devotional and to make some space and to hold that space. And we want to do that with you. We want to support you in our member community, helping you get connected in small groups. We have a leader guide for that. Once again, we want you to be able to receive the torrents of grace that God has for you, to be able to receive more deeply the perfect and gracious love of God. And I think this devotional does a beautiful job of positioning us, posturing us to receive who God is. So thanks, Claire.
Thanks for asking me to write it. It was really beautiful.
It was fun for me, honestly. It was more work for you, but it was pretty fun for me.
It's an intense process.
For sure.
You guys, these ladies put so much into these devotionals. There's a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of discernment and discussion.
Yeah.
Because you really take this seriously. This is a calling. It's a mission. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. My joy, Claire. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for your generosity with us, sharing your story and, gosh, just decades of wisdom and like hard-won discipleship.
Decades of wisdom.
I mean
Yeah.
that.
It is like it's true.
You knew what I meant, you guys. You know I wasn't
It's true.
talking about your age.
It's okay. I talk about my age. I'm just feeling
Claire,
old these days.
Listen. I want to say that Claire is like 7 years older than me, but she loves to pretend like she's such an elder.
I'm a grandma.
Claire,
I'm a grandma.
We're practically the same age. I also have decades of discipleship under my belt.
Yes.
Claire, always good to see you. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah, it's
And-
my pleasure.
We hope you'll grab, I know you will, the Advent Devotional, any of the bundles we featured. Go back and check those out. blessedshe.net/Advent. Until next time. Thanks, Claire.
Thanks.
Bye.